noise generator here. So this is the difference between white noise. It's very hissy, lots of high-end volume, not a lot of low-end or bass. And here's pink noise. It sounds a lot darker, there's a lot more low-end energy.
Green, yellow, purple. There's a sound for those too. Some of these color noises sound like nature sounds. A lot of people assume that the sound of waterfalls,
We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Seen firsthand, it's just been amazing.
The search for tornado victims in Alabama continues.
2 Latter-day Saint volunteers are detained in Russia.
Ogden has been nominated for Domino's Fix It Pothole campaign. Welcome to Newsline. It's Wednesday, March 6th. I'm Madeline Reber.
And I'm Paula Kiko Chandler. We're learning more about the victims of a deadly Alabama tornadoes. The storm claimed the lives of 23 people Sunday. The oldest victim was 89 and the youngest was 6 years old.
Now crews are desperate to find any survivors. Kristen Holmes is in Lee County, Alabama with more.
The cleanup process here in Lee County, Alabama has begun. I'm going to let you take a look here behind me. You can just see how much work they actually have to get done. These were homes that are now covered in tree branches and debris. Many of this debris traveled miles. We know that at least some of it traveled 20 miles because of this tornado. Now, officials say that there are still about 7 or 8 people missing, but that soon that search and rescue mission will turn into one of recovery.
We haven't given up hope. We're still searching.
The survivors of Sunday's tornadoes in Lee County, Alabama, are still grappling with the devastation throughout their small community. And 2 days after the storms, the search continues.
They're searching not mainly for somebody, but just searching areas that have large piles of debris, searching through that debris to make sure that we miss nobody.
The cleanup process has also begun. Lee County officials are asking anyone in the area who can volunteer their time or resources to step forward and register with the local government. And for residents who still need help, the county wants them to know they're ready.
Tell us what those needs are. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to hear. We can't help you if we don't know what you need.
As for those killed, 23 victims have been identified, including 4 children.
It's a tragic situation. I can't thank this community enough for jumping in there and the support that I've seen firsthand. It's just been amazing.
Thank the Lord. And many of those who did survive, including 72-year-old Ernestine Reese, who is recovering from a broken hip, know just how lucky they are.
She's been strong throughout it all. Even in the middle of the devastation, she has maintained her faith.
And President Trump will be visiting this area. He announced that he'll be here on Friday, visiting areas in Alabama that were devastated by these tornadoes. Reporting from Lee County, Alabama, I'm Kristen Holmes. Back to you.
The Utah House decided this morning to block the plan on selling stronger beer in grocery stores. The proposed bill would have had increased alcohol limits from 2.3% to 4.8% by volume. However, House leaders worried an increase in alcohol content could have a negative impact socially. Utah is one of the last states to sell alcohol beverages at 3.2% in grocery stores. The U.S. Senate Committee on Health, Education, and Pension plans on a hearing about the importance of vaccines. The hearing, called Vaccines Saves Lives, stated how vaccines can save a whole community from outbreak and disease. Senator Alexander spoke about how polio disease was eliminated in the U.S. thanks to vaccines. In response to the hearing, anti-vaccine reports gathered at the Utah State Capitol.
Jared Baum, the man accused of murdering 2 Utah teens, was in court today. Baum is charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder, kidnapping, and abuse of a body. For these charges, prosecutors can seek the death penalty. Baum's girlfriend, Morgan Henderson, was also charged in connection to the case. She was sentenced to 3 years in jail for obstruction of justice charges. She is expected to be a key witness in Baum's trial. Russian officials detained 2 volunteers from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Friday evening while at a meeting at a local church house. The LDS missionaries were serving in Novorossiysk, Russia, which is about 900 miles south of Moscow. A church spokesperson released that the young men are in good condition and have both spoken to their parents. The church is going to continue to work with the local authorities and encourage the release of these volunteers.
A woman is dead after a police officer searching for her ran her over with his car last night. The fatal incident occurred in a parking lot near 3300 South and 2300 East in Mill Creek shortly before midnight. Unified Police said officers responding to a call spotted a woman lying in the Zion parking lot. The officer behind the wheel is on administrative leave, and an outside agency in Salt Lake City is investigating. Both are standard procedures for any officer-involved critical incident. The identity of the woman was not yet released.
A man driving a tractor died Tuesday after having a medical problem and hitting a car. Utah Highway Patrol says the man was driving a John Deere tractor west of State Route 147 when he slumped over the wheel and drove into oncoming traffic. The tractor hit a Ford Taurus head-on. CPR was performed on the driver of the tractor and he was transported to the hospital where he passed away.
After a dog bit off a child's hand in Layton, many Utahns are wondering just how safe it is to pet a neighbor's dog. NewsLine reporter Danny Hallows joins us now. Danny, what should Utahns know about meeting new dogs?
Well, many times we think that the dogs that aren't trained are the ones we should be afraid of. They'll lick us, they'll scratch us, they might jump on us, but we humans might be the ones who need the training.
Man's best friend. We love them and they love us back. They're always willing to sniff, lick, and say hi.
You want to pet my dog?
But have you ever thought about how our best friends want us to say hi to them? Well, instead of giving a dog more training on how to meet me, I was the one getting trained.
Yeah?
What am I already doing wrong?
You flinched.
Okay.
Get down on one knee.
Just one?
Yep. You can say his name. Bandit.
Bandit. Hi. Hi. Aww.
See how he's leaning into you?
Yeah.
Okay. Even though his focus is away, he's definitely saying, that's where I want my attention to be.
Sarah Baker has been training dogs for 5 years.
I want a dog that knows how to stay with me without me restraining them.
She says that the recent attack in Layton that left a little boy without his arm is horrifying, and she believes it might be our culture to blame.
In today's society, we're almost guilt-tripped into saying, well, you have to let me pet your dog.
Hi! Man's best friend. Do we deserve the treats?
And if he stops,
or do they?
Away from you, you stop. Take your hand off.
Now, just as a recap, when you're approaching a dog, turn to a profile, get down on one knee, tap your leg a few times, and call their name. And try not to be as scared as me. Reporting live in Provo, I'm Danny Hallows. Back to you.
Thanks, Danny.
Students at Brigham Young University are voting for their next student body president and vice president today. The votes for the university's association will be split between candidate pairs Rob Borden and Mimi Ross, and McKay Tucker and Kendrick Stevenson. Rob and Mimi's platform is to love, learn, and serve with their study, BYU, and each other. McKay and Kendrick's is to connect, collaborate, and ignite using these three tactics in order to uplift. Voting is live online now and closes tonight at 6 p.m., where results will be posted later at 6:30.
Ogden has been chosen to receive Domino's Paving for Pizza grant.
But those roads shouldn't ruin your pizza when you carry out. So we're doing something.
The Paving for Pizza grant gives cities monies to fix their roads. Domino's launched the Paving for Pizza program in June of 2018, asking customers to nominate their town for a grant to repair potholes. Due to an overwhelming amount of nominations, the program has been expanded to one town in each state, and Ogden was chosen for Utah. Domino's Director of Corporate Operations for Utah, Kelly Eldraker, says, "We're thrilled that Ogden was selected as a grant recipient to help smooth the rides out for our carry home customers."
Have you ever wanted to delete your social media, forge a new identity, and travel the world? JetBlue's newest contest asks people to give up their Instagram account in exchange for the chance to win a year of free flights. After you delete or archive all your Instagram photos, you need to upload a special JetBlue branded image and tag it with All You Can Jet Sweepstakes. If you're one of the 3 winners chosen, JetBlue wants you to fill up your new Instagram with awesome travel pictures. R. Kelly speaks out for the first time since being charged for sexual abuse.
I didn't do this stuff.
Hear more from his emotional interview and why he says he's innocent. The FDA has approved a new drug that fights depression. Find out how this could help millions. Health benefits
may be connected to listening to various sounds. Find out more about which sounds are healthy.
Thousands of lightning strikes light up the Southern California sky, and Utah is looking a bit cold and wet.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at savethefood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Protests Europe Tuesday after a California prosecutor did not file charges against the policeman who shot and killed Stephen Clark last year.
That no criminal charges against the officers involved in the shooting can be sustained.
Clark was unarmed and shot at least 7 times by 2 policemen last year in his grandmother's backyard. The State Department report on the incident says Clark was breaking into cars, and it says Clark was advancing towards the officers. The police said they saw a flash of light and they thought it came from a weapon. Only his cell phone was found at the scene. The U.S. Attorney Office and the FBI say they will also investigate to see whether or not Clark's rights were violated.
Singer R. Kelly is speaking out for the first time since being charged with several counts of sexual abuse, and he is adamant he did nothing wrong.
Hate me if you want to, love me if you want, but just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out.
In an interview with CBS's Gayle King, Kelly tearfully denied being guilty of 10 counts of felony aggravated assault abuse against young girls. The first part of Gayle King's interview aired in full this morning. The second part will air Friday morning.
An antidepressant that contains a chemical similar to the illegal party drug known as Special K has been approved by the Federal Drug Administration. The antidepressant, which will be sold as a nasal spray, contains a substance similar to ketamine, a powerful anesthetic that's used as Special K. Spravato is intended for patients who tried at least 2 other antidepressants without success. The FDA says there is a need for medications to help with treatment-resistant depression.
With parties and celebrations of Mardi Gras, Catholic Christians all over the globe will head to church today to mark the start of Lent. The tradition began back in the 6th century as a way for Christians to prepare for Easter. Ashes are marked in the shape of a cross on the forehead of believers, which represent repentance and death. The Lenten season begins on Ash Wednesday and lasts for 46 days leading up to Easter.
A high school student in Arkansas spent years saving his money to buy an electric wheelchair for a friend.
Every single day, he helps anybody.
Tanner Wilson is a high school student and surprised his classmate Brandon Qualls with an electric wheelchair. Wilson said he planned to get the wheelchair for Qualls for 3 years. Many staff and students say the kind gesture is normal behavior for Brandon Qualls. It was revealed to Qualls at school that he would be receiving the chair. The chair will stay at his school until his parents can transport it.
Forbes has reported that Kylie Jenner is the youngest ever self-made billionaire.
Ali Arnold has Twitter's response to the announcement. Ali?
That's right, people on Twitter are confused about one detail in the Forbes report, which is made clear by this user who said, self-made? People are confused why Kylie is described as self-made when she started off in a multi-million-dollar household. One user wrote, Kylie Jenner is not a self-made billionaire. Her family was already worth millions and incredibly famous. All she did was leverage her fame, fortune, and family name. Another user commented on this by saying, by all means, feel free to congratulate Kylie Jenner, but don't you dare call her self-made. She's not. This report also drummed up some funny memes with people commenting where they are in life compared to Kylie. Twitter user Sophie Thompson wrote, today at 21 years old, Kylie Jenner became the youngest self-made billionaire. Today at 21 years old, I picked mold off a piece of bread, ate it, then called my mom to ask if it would poison me. Even former Bachelor contestant Sean Lowe is talking about it, saying, today I learned that Kylie Jenner is a billionaire while I'm over here shopping prices for trash bags and deodorant on Amazon. I joined the wrong reality show. Most people have heard of white noise.
That's right, but there's a whole rainbow of sounds that can help with focus and creativity.
NewsLine reporter Nikki Wilson has more about how sounds can help all of us. Nikki, what is colored sound?
Just like color, sound is laid out on a spectrum. So I found out the difference between white noise and every other color on the spectrum.
I talked to DK, who owns a recording studio here in Provo.
So I have a little noise generator here. So this is the difference between white noise. It's very hissy, lots of high-end volume, not a lot of low-end or bass. And here's pink noise. It sounds a lot darker, there's a lot more low-end energy.
Green, yellow, purple. There's a sound for those too. Some of these color noises sound like nature sounds. A lot of people assume that the sound of waterfalls, thunderstorms, or waves have the same effect. But if you're trying to do more than just relax, it's best to have a noise that's predictable.
One of the things about white noise is many people have a ringing in their ears. It's all generated within the peripheral auditory nervous system. But what we found is if we put in something like white noise and you adjust it so you can no longer hear this internal noise.
Masking sound with sound might seem counterintuitive, but it works. Sound engineers use these specialized sound frequencies to smooth audio and video production. You don't have to go to a recording studio to listen to colorful sound. Try listening to brown sound on YouTube to fall asleep faster, or listen to pink noise while reading to focus better.
Whether it's pink or brown or white, there's a sound to cover up whatever background noise exists. I'm Nikki Wilson reporting for NewsLine.
They say lightning never strikes twice, but over 2,000 lightning strikes lit up Southern California. And while storms aren't odd, there, lightning is. Experts say the surge is likely due to a phenomenon called the atmospheric river. That's where a jet stream pushes a plume of tropical moisture south, resulting in heavier rainfall. It was so unordinary that the National Weather Service issued an alert to residents to take precautions. That didn't keep a few individuals from capturing the breathtaking sight, though.
If we look over here, this is actually the storm surge that is or did affect California, and it's moving up into Utah. So you may have noticed there's a little bit of moisture in the air today, rain coming down.
And that is likely to continue throughout the day as well as tomorrow. So just that's the storm surge moving through, so keep that in mind. As we go to our highs for today, we can actually see Salt Lake is looking at 52 degrees, Provo's at a 46, St. George is at 56, Vernal at 34. So temperatures are generally pretty good for the highs. If we go to our lows, we'll actually see that Salt Lake City only drops about 10 degrees down to 41. Provo's at a 39. St. George is still up at 46. Vernal barely gets below freezing at 26, but for the most part, temperatures are going to be fairly moderate as the day goes on. As we go to our 5-day forecast, southern Utah is looking like clouds all the way through. So while temperatures will be pretty nice, not a good time to go sunbathing because there won't be very much sunshine. The northern Utah forecast is looking at a bit of rain followed by snow and then continuing cloud cover. So while temperatures will be rising, they will dip for a second come Saturday, and then they'll continue to rise, hopefully heralding some new spring weather. So
yeah, remember how I told you I was going to buy an umbrella last week?
That's right.
Still haven't done it, but I have to do it now with all the rain that we're having outside.
Blake, what's up with sports?
So we got a lot of good things going on. We got basketball, we got a little bit of boxing. Coming up, BYU basketball got some love from the WCC yesterday. Find out who was placed in the all-conference teams and why there's a little controversy with the conference's decisions. Also, former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson looks like he never left boxing. Could he be making a comeback at 52? Find out coming up.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it. Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
The All-West Coast Conference basketball teams were announced yesterday. BYU got some love with Yoli Childs being selected into the first team All-WCC for the second consecutive season. Childs led the conference in scoring with 20.7 points per game and was second in rebounding with 9.4 per game. TJ Haws was also voted to the All-WCC second team. This was a little more controversial considering Haws averaged more points, assists, free throw percentage, and assist-to-turnover ratio than the first team selection, James Bateman. Freshman forward Gavin Baxter was also named to the All-WCC freshman team. The New Orleans Pelicans took down the Utah Jazz on their home court on Monday. Tonight, however, the Jazz get a chance to run it back. The Jazz will travel out to New Orleans tonight seeking a little revenge after their tough loss on Monday. After blowing a 14-point lead over the final 8 minutes, the Jazz were not able to pull away for their 5th straight win. The Jazz continue to stay in playoff contention, however, as they currently sit at the 6th seed in the tough Western Conference. The Pelicans, on the other hand, still come in as underdogs tonight as they sit at the 12th spot in the Western Conference. After 3 hours of sitting and waiting, Chiquita Evans heard her name called. Who's Chiquita Evans? The first woman ever to be drafted into the NBA 2K League. Evans was drafted in the 4th round by the Golden State Warriors gaming squad. She's a former college basketball player and semi-pro. Prior to her selection, she was working as a trainer at Planet Fitness. She will now join 126 players who will make between $33,000 and $37,000 per season. The NBA 2K League will begin later this year in November and will run all through the month. Michael Gerard Tyson, aka Iron Mike Tyson, aka the baddest man on the planet. At the age of 52, he still looks like he can be all of those things. Check this out, the heavyweight champion showing off some shadow boxing and bobbing technique. Tyson racked up 50 wins in his career, with 44 of those by knockout in his 20-year career. So that was pretty cool. Mike Tyson at the age of 52 looks like he still kind of has it, you know. He is the youngest heavyweight champion of all time. At the age of 20, he was the champion, and yeah, pretty incredible.
Seems pretty awesome. I love watching the video.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
What?
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
The newest social media challenge has people across the world throwing their Vans shoes. The hashtag Vans challenge has people on social media convinced that no matter how they throw their Vans in the air, they will always land right side up. Most all the videos show the shoes doing just that, which is leading to a majority of users thinking it's a conspiracy. Others on Twitter have started throwing their Crocs and other shoes, finding that the results are the same. So it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of weird. I have a Vans. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Wow, it works.
Oh my.
Unbelievable.
Conspiracy debunked.
Yeah, debunked. It works.
Thank you so much for joining us for Newsline.
For more information on our stories and to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/newsline. Have a great day.
Have a good day. Cheese.